Another day, another model. Now, a couple days ago, I posted a video called The Primaris Problem. And someone made a good point. We don't have true scale Mark 7 Space Marines. So in this video, we're going to be kitbashing those knee pads onto this body. And, in a later date, we'll do one for the chest as well. But today, we're essentially going to kitbash the arms, head, and knee pads onto this armor so that it can be more familiarized as Mark 7 with a Mark 6-esque torso, much like you can do in the classic Tactical Marine kit. Now, when I say Tactical Marines, I mean the tactical squad that has all the Mark 7 bits, the Godwin pattern bolters, the Mark 6 Corvus helmets, and much more, including heavy bolter. Uh, was the other weapon a rocket launcher? Banner, and all that. Now, after cutting at the thigh and right below the knee pad, we're going to trim it up a little bit to where it'll be able to be flushed with the actual shin plate slightly. The reason we're going to do this is so that it'll look more natural with the body. Now, while the knee pads are a small change, they're big enough to actually make it seem more not Mark 6. But if we're also going to be doing a torso piece, which eventually we will, that'll make it fully familiarized as Mark 7. Now, the way we're going to trim up the knee pads after we slice them off is we're going to give them a flat back and a flat bottom. We're going to make it very thin. That way it's not too standoffish. After that, we're going to take a hobby knife. Oh, we're not there yet. Doing dry fitting for the knees. I actually do enjoy how the legs slot together perfectly on the Mark 6 Corvus, Mark 3 Iron, and the Mark 2 Crusade patterns that have been rescaled. Now we're going to take this here hobby knife and trim up the knee pad a bit more on the top. That way it looks smoother and nicer looking in general. And, also if you have a hobby knife, make sure you get one that has the little sander bit on the grippy area. It really helps when doing certain models. I actually don't know if mine is a sandy bit or if that's just how I use it. It kind of just feels like a grip area, but it also works for a sanding tool. So that's cool. Now we've done all that, we can take our knife to the original Mark 6 knee pads. Well, shin knee pads. To do this, we're just going to make 3 slices on both sides of the knees. One on the bottom, showing us where the bottom of our Mark 6 or Mark 7 knee is going to be. And then we're just going to slice upwards. By doing this, it will be easier for when we eventually go to do the trimming of this area, fitting it for the Mark 7. Make sure you test the look fitting. And after that, we're going to make our initial incision with the clippers. Yes, I know this looks stupid, don't worry. I kind of messed up on the recording, so you're mostly going to get fingers for part of it. I had my phone holder a bit lower than I usually do. Usually you can see the rest of the models that I've already done, but whoopsie daisy. Now, it's good to make sure that the area is flat for when we go to use the Warhammer brand glue. The Warhammer brand glue is a plastic glue that makes it to where you can graft one piece of plastic to another piece of plastic. Now, after that little time skip, we also added the knee pads on, but now we're going to glue one shin onto the body again. Because, that shin mysteriously broke off. I swear to the Emperor, it wasn't my fault. So, just trust me, bro. It's at this halfway segment that we will call out our sponsor of today's video. And that was the sponsorship part of the video. Now, returning to regular programming. Now, when cutting for the torso, make sure you cut below the belt. Well, kind of. You cut at the bottom of the belt, but when it comes to the actual belt buckle, make sure you take that off, but make it to where the legs are still flush with the waist. It'll make it easier for when we show you an example of, the chest. We actually had a previous video where we did actually graft a Mark 7 torso chest with a pristine Aquila onto Mark 6 legs, but the files kind of got corrupted and, copyright, and there was a lot of issues with that video, so we just couldn't have it up. It's a bummer. I will be presenting the model from that video at the very end of this video, just so that you can see how good the chests can fit together when done right. When we do the tutorial for that, though, I'm going to make sure to show every detail on how to do the original torsos onto the new legs perfectly. Now that we've got our knee pads done, we can do the arms and the bulger. For this model, he's going to be a Black Templar who's a part of the Death Watch. So, it's good that we have a head that is Death Watch representative. But due to the previous owner who had it, using super glue, we have to shave part of the bottom off to get to the actual plastic. When we get to the plastic, we can use our Warhammer glue again and graft the head onto the body. Scratchy, 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 scratchy. We're doing the scratching part of the video. Okay, that should be it. Now we take our model and we start testing the head. There, now we know it works. Now we get the glue out. Now, for a strong connection, I recommend just gluing the entire head down instead of just doing a tiny dollop. But if you're a kit basher and you like to reuse bits from certain models after some time, because you have ADHD or something, not calling myself out or anything, I recommend just putting a tiny dollop or using super glue. Super glue is superior for kit bashing as it allows you to just remove the bits and reuse them somewhere else after getting the super glue off the actual pieces. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe about the kit bash. And remember to tune in next time for when we paint up this model. We're going to be using a Dark Angels backpack, by the way. Thank you to all the supporters. Val, Phoenix, my girlfriend, her brothers, I think the other one watches, her mother, my family, and everyone who's subscribed and watched so far. This is Lucian Malum, signing off. Bye-bye.